All right, bro. So I remember you were saying something about wanting to build a warrior deck. Okay, so I found my old hero cards. They're elemental heroes. Um, Basically, they rely on fusion monsters. So I'll get to them in a second, but I want to explain kind of like how they work. So these guys aren't very strong. Like you see, he's just a normal monster with 1600 attack. He's just a normal monster with 1000 attack. Elemental hero heat, I mean, he's pretty decent. Like, you get more, the more you have on the field, basically, the stronger he gets. You see the effect. Wildheart is really swole. I mean, he just literally can tank a mirror force to the face, or like a torrential tribute to the face. We have these one-ofs. Like, I don't have 3 copies of all of these, but that's fine. The strongest single guy here is Stratos, because you can read the effect, but if he's normal or special summoned, you can either destroy spells and traps on the opponent's side of the field, or add any hero from the deck to the hand, which is huge for fusions, because I'll explain right now. The heart of this deck is Miracle Fusion, right? So you could be down bad, but you could still pull off like a clutch-ass play with this, because you fuse your monsters together, and you can use either the field or the grave as fuel for it, basically. So if you have any of the, like, you want Avian in there, because the kind of the regular boss monster you have in this deck is, give me 1 sec, I'm gonna grab him real quick. That is Elemental Hero Great Tornado, right? So you need a wind monster and an elemental hero monster, right? So your wind monsters are these guys, and he's an elemental hero, and pretty much everyone else is an elemental hero as well. So it's gonna be really easy to find material for him. But you know, even if you're losing and you just happen to draw Miracle Fusion, boom, you just instantly get Great Tornado. His effect is really swole as well. Like, he just halves every single attack of the monster of the opponent, which is cool. Which is why we have 3 of them in the fusion deck, or 2, or whatever. I'll find a third. I think I have a third one of these guys. We'll get on to the masked heroes later, because I need to explain the rest of it, right? So you're probably thinking, like, how do I fill my graveyard with these guys? So we have Hero Mask, which is important because the elemental heroes, you can just send one straight from your deck to your graveyard. So it's kind of like searching it out, but just shoot it into the graveyard. Which is useful because you want to send these weaklings, they're kind of weaklings, I'm not going to lie, into the grave, because if you send your Avians into the grave, that is both counting as an elemental hero and a wind monster, right? So it fills either one of the requirements for Great Tornado. So whatever you have in the rest of your hand or your grave or field, it'll work out pretty well, just because you can either have another Avian in your hand to fuse with, and you can have like a Sparkman, you could have a Heat, whatever. It's pretty flexible, this deck. So form change is important because it basically can turn your Great Tornado into a masked hero. So masked heroes require mask change to summon, but form change counts as mask change. So basically, as long as they have the same level, which they all do, like Koga has the same level as Great Tornado, and so does Divine Wind. They're all level 8s, so shouldn't make an issue there. And basically, this is a quick play spell. So this is really important because you can battle, like you can have the attack of all the monsters that the opponent has, and then this is a quick play spell, so you can activate it in battle, right? And then, like, in the middle of your battle phase, you can switch out for either Divine Wind or Koga, which Koga is really good because Koga was how I fought Eric's God card and beat a couple of them. Because for every monster that your opponent controls, it gains 500 attack, which is really swole. So even though he's just a little 2500 guy, if the field is flooded, he can get over 4000 attack, which is nuts. And then if you have another one, you can, like, hit another attack and then use another form change and turn him into Divine Wind. You know, he's just a decent little masked hero. I didn't give him really much thought, but I feel like he should go in this deck. Our Righteous Justice, literally, you just control you just destroy spell and traps up to the number of elemental heroes you control. So, I mean, it's like Mystic Space Typhoon on steroids, basically, for the hero deck. Oversoul. I feel like if you don't want to fuse all the time, like if your back's against the wall, you can use Oversoul to immediately special summon either Avian or Sparkman, because they're both normal monsters. This can be useful for a variety of reasons, like, you know, you're just not focused on fusing and just you need to get someone onto the field. So yeah, that's about it for the core cards, like the 3 count of everything. Because your general engine is that you want to dump these guys into the grave, like that's your general strategy. Play off of these guys because they're pretty strong on their own, like they can hold their own. The one-ofs I'll explain in a second again. But yeah, so you want to fuse if you can, or just kind of flood the field and use heat because you get swole for everyone you have. And then in the middle of your battle phase, or whenever really, you can just convert whatever Great Tornadoes you have into Divine Winds. It's not the other way around. Like, you can only go from Great Tornado into Divine Wind or Koga, which is fine. But anyways, I'm going to explain the one-ofs right now. Elemental Hero Ocean, pretty self-explanatory. You just basically grab a hero that's in your graveyard and put him in your hand. Stratos, I explained him already. He's super useful. So if you ever have emergency call, basically you just take any hero from your deck to your hand. So you're going to want to grab pretty much every single time either Stratos or Woodsman, right? So Woodsman is cool because he can grab Polymerization. Polymerization is cool because, and I'll grab it right here. Polymerization is cool because you can fuse monsters from your field or your hand, right? So if you have literally any hero monster and any wind monster in your hand, and you have Polymerization, you don't even need to get them onto the field first to fuse and get into Great Tornado. Other than that, we have Homunculus, the Alchemic Being. He's pretty good just because he can change his attributes so he can become the wind monster that you need him to be. He's not an elemental hero monster, but it works out really well because Hero Mask, other than dumping a hero into the graveyard, the target's name, like the other monster's name that you have on the field, becomes that guy. So if I send Avian to the grave, Homunculus' name is now Avian, right? He is now an elemental hero, technically, for this turn. So then that would fill the requirements of either elemental hero monster or the wind monster. Sorry about that. I burned the fuck out of my hand. But we also have Wing Karibo. Bro, he's just a classic, honestly. He's just a dope little guy. You take no damage if he gets destroyed. Or like for the rest of the turn, I believe. Yeah. Bubble Man. Bubble Man is just for clutch ass plays, honestly. Like if you have nothing and you draw him, you can special summon him, and you can draw 2 cards, which is really important if your back's against the wall. Thunder Hand. I was looking through my cards, like just kind of randomly, and I stumbled across him, and I was extremely surprised how many monsters I have with 1600 attack or defense. So basically, if a 1600 attack or defense monster gets destroyed either by card effect or by battle, this guy can be special summoned from the field or the grave, right? So he could be dead and he can just come back to life. And then you can combo off that with Hero Mask, so his name becomes an elemental hero as well for part of the fusion for Great Tornado. But anyways, we have a ton of 1600 monsters, right? Like Sparkman, 1600 attack. Elemental Hero Heat, 1600 attack. Elemental Hero Wildheart, 1600 defense. Homunculus, the Alchemic Being, 1600 defense. I believe that's it for the 1600s, but still, that's literally 10 targets. So it's super easy to get Thunderhand onto the field just as a free monster. Elemental Recharge, pretty good. Just get more life points for how many elemental heroes you have. Hero Signal, really good. So if a hero dies any way possible, you just get another one from your deck, which is really important because you can then grab Stratos again, or you can get so Stratos, remember, if you remember correctly, Stratos, once he is summoned, any possible way he's summoned, special or normal, you just add another hero to your hand. So if you want to complete your combo, you can grab literally anything. Woodsman, again, if you grab them during your next standby phase, you add polymerization to hand. So it's another just instant way to, like, for sure get a fusion. Then we got, of course, polymerization that goes with Woodsman. We got parallel world fusion. So this is really cool because the cost of the original Miracle Fusion is that you have to banish the materials for it. But this guy recycles your banished ones, and he just basically shuffles them into the deck and you get a free one, right? So let's say you already had summoned a Elemental Hero Great Tornado using Miracle Fusion. You're gonna have at least Avian and one other Elemental Hero. Let's say you have Elemental Hero Heat as fusion materials. These guys are banished, right? So they're out of the game. But this one, you just recycle the banished monsters and you get absolutely free another Elemental Hero Great Tornado. So I thought that was really powerful. Battle Fusion, it just literally makes any fusion monsters full. I think it's really cool and it's hollow as well. So that's going to wrap it up for the deck profile, my man. If you want to use it, bro, 100%, I'll just run it to you. It seems like a super fun deck to play. I haven't played it yet, but I don't know. It looks pretty consistent. Yeah, if not, I'm gonna beat your ass with it. But if you beat my ass with it, then you keep this deck because it looks like a lot of fun. Peace out.